This is a little water gun, and today it's going to be sacrificed so we can understand how something like this can shoot so many times per second, which microscopic animal works inside to make this happen. It just arrived from our best Chinese supplier, a water machine gun that promises to reach up to 15 meters. And it even lights up at the tip. You can do single shots, burst shots, shots that look like water fire is coming out. It didn't come wet like this. Actually, we've already done some tests, and then I put it back in the box. This thing is blowing up on the internet. It's a kind of super water shooter. Before we sacrifice this thing, to see what kind of mechanics are in here, how does this thing make to shoot water so fast and so far? Let's give it a try, right? These are the things that come inside the box. The battery is in this back part. Without the box, you put it here. Here's the battery. This battery charges with a USB cable. And at the end, there's another thing that also charges with USB, which I thought was really cool. It's a kind of silencer that emits light. This has a tiny little battery inside, some LEDs in the front, and a USB-C port with a button you press to add water. An opening fills the bottom reservoir here. Plus, there's an extra reservoir. You fit it up here. I don't know if this works as a site later, but you can pour water directly here and then fill both reservoirs. On the box, it says the capacity is 1 liter and 350. Let's load it up. The capacity is accurate, that's right. I think it's a toy to play with more outside. Let's go. First thing. Then, to test, what's the distance this can reach? Rounding way up, 8 meters. That's not the strong point of this thing, but I think, even so, the water comes out at a really high speed. So, let's find a way to measure that speed. We're going to use the method of placing a 1-meter ruler, marked every 10 centimeters. I'll record with my phone in slow motion at 240 frames per second, and then we'll come and analyze it here in the video editor in Premiere to see what we find. The first thing I noticed is that the shot is divided into several little pieces. It's not a continuous stream of water. So if we freeze the image here, you can see that it's all broken up. I counted here. The number of shots per second is between 7 and 9 shots per second. That's quite a lot. One cool thing about this gun is the interesting sound it makes. It's actually better than the shot itself. Let's continue. There's another thing I'm noticing, which is that the tip of the jet, when it shoots, comes out really fast, but the back part comes out slower. That makes the second shot catch up with the first one, because the front part is faster. Like there's several different shots. Look here. The shot breaks up into several. The front part is faster. So if we look at the image, it's way ahead. The back part is a little slower. When you take the second shot, since the yellow one is faster, it ends up catching up with this part. And it has a tail back here. So you notice that one shot catches up with the other. It's a very strange thing. If we just measure this little tip here, it goes by frames. We're recording at 240 frames. That's 1 second. 10 frames, that's X. X is equal to 10 divided by 240. That's 1/24 of a second. How much is that in kilometers per hour? In 1/24 of a second, that jet traveled 1 meter. So, in 1 hour, which is 3,600 seconds, how many meters will it travel? I divide 3,600 times 1 divided by 1/24, breaking down this calculation here. It's 3,600 times 24, and that's 86,400. This result is in meters. Okay, so we convert this here. 86.4 kilometers per hour. Really fast. To learn how to do these fraction calculations, check out the great mathematics book from Manuel do Mundo. The link is below on YouTube and also in the description. One of the things I thought was coolest about this was the tip that lights up and illuminates the water as it comes out. So it looks like fire is coming out, but it stopped working right at the beginning. I think water got in here. Let's just leave it here. In ours, there's a 3D printer filament dehydrator here. that I'm using to dry the perfect rice ball. I'm going to leave it in here for a few minutes and see if it gets better. And the aim is easy to hit anything. The distance. Yeah, the shot is kind of tracer-like, so you can sort of aim and shoot at the same time, and it's not too hard to hit. No, this is actually pretty cool. The last test before the autopsy is the safety test. We tested something similar to this about a year ago, which shot gel balls, and we found out it was pretty dangerous. The thing could pierce an aluminum can. I thought this one would come with safety goggles. By the way, before buying this machine gun, we bought this other water pistol here. And yes, this one did come with safety goggles. Very similar to the ones we use here on Manual do Mundo, but we found this little gun here to be very weak. And besides, it looks a lot like a real gun. I'll be honest, I really like these shooting toys. When I was a kid, I used to make bows and arrows, slingshots, blowguns, but I'm not a big fan of toys that look like real guns. I think this one is more playful. It's a gun that doesn't exist. This here. If someone pointed this at me, I'd hand over everything I had. So we put that one aside and made the video with this one. But it doesn't come with test goggles. So I'm going to shoot at my face using safety glasses. But does it hurt the skin like this? Could it cause any problems? So, on the face, look, this thing is weak. Go ahead, go on, hit me in the face first. See? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. You can do it really, really close. It's absolutely harmless. If it goes straight into the eye or is sprayed up close, I think it must sting a lot. It hurts, but only if it goes right into the eye, right? We just found out that it works in offline mode too. I think you can even take out the battery. Look, if I take out the battery and pull here, look, it shoots. There's kind of an air intake here in the front. I pull, it shoots as soon as I let go. We haven't calculated how many shots it fires on a full charge. Let's see. That heavier 300. 1, 2, 3, and... Is it good for cleaning the floor? It's not good as a vape. No. I'm feeling the battery dying. Is it getting weak? 90 seconds. The speed kept dropping. If we multiplied by 7, which is 7 shots per second, it would be 630 shots. It lasted about 3 full charges. I thought the battery was pretty weak. You see this luminous silencer here? I think it ran out. I suspect this thing here has a sensor at the tip, so when the shot comes out, it lights up. If I'm right. Oh, too bad it doesn't work in practice, because when you put it on the tip, it still gets wet in the first 2 shots, and then it stops working. You'll see. It's still not working. I thought water was the problem, but it's wet again now. Kept working with the screwdriver, but it didn't work with water, so it's not a water problem. The sensor isn't detecting the shot. The drill bit doesn't fit into the screw holes. Whoa, man. I had this saved here. You know what this is? This is the tip of a Phillips screwdriver that we cut to do this kind of job here when the big bit wouldn't fit. There's a strong spring here. There's a little screw here that looks like it's going to be a problem. It's already a bit stripped here. The head is damaged. $20. Do you think at the factory they assemble this by hand? 20 screws. And I still haven't managed to open it yet. One here doesn't want to come out. I really feel that. It happened. What I feared the most, which was the parts flying out, and when I opened it, now I don't know what position they were in anymore. Let's try to rebuild it here. It's practically an archaeology job, right? Let's go step by. Here at the tip, there's a kind of syringe, a piston that pushes the water. Clearly, this is what makes the water squirt. Here is the plunger, the little rubber piece that seals it, and here's the little nozzle that squirts the water. But this has to make a very strong movement. It has to give a hit. And the hitting system is very clever. So we have a water inlet here at the tip, the outlet. This is the plunger, and when I pull it back, the water comes in. It's like I'm sucking because this thing has to work in a very forceful way. It has to push the water like this, giving a strong hit, and something is going to push this thing forward. It's a spring, and this spring is really tough. What I found smart here is that what pulls the spring back is a gear without teeth. This one, look, if you see, it only has 4 teeth. What's the secret? These 4 teeth fit into these teeth that are here on top of the plunger, and then they pull the plunger back. When this gear is spinning, it pulls the plunger back. But there comes a time when these 4 teeth keep spinning and they release the plunger. But there's a spring behind it, and this spring pushes it forward. Where the wheel has gears, it pulls, then releases at the neutral part, repeating this cycle. That's how the machine gun spits water. If you look around, this gear has other teeth, and they have another function. They serve to connect to another gear, which is also part of a bigger gear, connected to another gear that's connected to the engine. Why is there all this gearing here before it gets to the engine? To make the engine much stronger. These are reductions, which means the engine will spin much faster. But these gears, each one of them, makes the movement slower, but also stronger. It's like a car in gear. In first gear, the engine spins many times, but the car moves very little, and that's important to pull this spring, which is really tough. Comparing the two systems here, this is what makes the gun fire. If I move it just a little, the gear without teeth will come apart, along with the whole reduction assembly and the motor here. I really wanted to see all of this working, open, but if I turn it on now, everything will explode. So I'll try to hold it in place somehow, okay? Something really crude that I found here. Look, the water protection on the main button. On the trigger is a balloon with heller tape. Man, whoa, oh, don't let everything fall. Hold on. It's not easy to make it work, disassembled. Let's try it directly in slow motion here, so if it works, at least we'll have a few. This thing is really violent. Let me see if I can lock it with the top part here. Right, how do I crop this here to put it exactly on top of the thing? What was I able to do? Make it work with my hand here, turning it slowly. Let's see. Pretend my hand is the motor. Okay, the gear is in neutral. Now it caught the plunger. It's pressing. The spring is getting tighter and tighter. At some point, it's going to catch in neutral. It's going to catch on the tooth, neutral there. And that's it. Oh, there it slipped. And now it spins in neutral for a while. All right. Then, when the tooth catches again, it pulls one more time and it spits out again. Okay, that's the main mechanism. You get it? The question is, why there's this other motor here, which had this little tube connected to the reservoir? Could this be an air pump? There was another switch here. OM. This is Manual do Mundo, man. It's an air pump. And it's a strong air pump, really strong. I put the trigger here. And I realized that this air pump is activated when I push the trigger forward, not when I pull the trigger. So that means that at no point, from everything you've seen, did this pump turn on. When I pull the trigger back, the main motor runs. When I push the trigger forward, the air pump turns on. Could it be that this machine gun, if I pushed the trigger forward, it would shoot water continuously? And I didn't know. Air was injected into the reservoir, and the water came out because of the pressure created inside. I think we can recreate this here without much difficulty. Let's see. Push forward to automatically suck up the water. It's not an air pump, it's a water pump. So, you would put this little nozzle here in the water, and it would pull the water by itself. Now let's see this working, right? So, theoretically, if I put this here, water will come out here and make a total mess, right? Back in my day at the pool, we'd fill our mouths with water and spit it in someone's face. We didn't have this stuff, right? Jansen is saying that he's curious about how that mechanism works. The one you pull with your hand and it squirts when you let go. What I'm understanding here is that it's pretty simple. Look, when you pull with your hand, there's a little hook here, and then when you let go, it goes forward. That's exactly it. Water gun revealed. It reaches a much shorter distance than we thought. It goes much faster than we expected. It makes a cool sound, and it's not dangerous. The tip has a really cool sensor that works with a screwdriver, but with water, it doesn't work. Theoretically, you could load the gun just by touching its mouth to the water. I've used that little pump in the test, but only found out about it after disassembly. I wonder if I can reassemble it and get it working again. It won't be easy. Can we get this working a bit while it's open? I'm eager to see it in slow motion. We got a little water pump. Let's go. Here, you can see it perfectly. Let's set up some good lighting here, so you can see it by watching in slow motion. One thing you can notice very well is that this last gear, the one I drew here, spins much slower than the first ones. So this reduction is working. One thing I couldn't show here is this gear without teeth. Let's drill on the other side so we can see it. Now, yes, that's what I wanted to see. So, to finish this video with you, the Banguela gear, which is the secret behind the machine gun's rhythm in slow motion. For those who enjoyed these ingenious gear mechanisms, once we took apart that crazy capybara that keeps jumping and screaming. It's way cooler than it looks. There's almost nothing electronic inside. It's all based on gears, with several things being controlled at the same time by a single little motor.